Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be looking at my top 10 favorite LEGO sets that I've collected over the years. In this channel, I'm mostly going to be posting running and sport related things, hence the channel name. But for my first video, I thought something to do with Legos would be good because I've been a lifelong fan. Alright, so let's get into it. For the number 10 spot, I have set number 75288, AT-AT. Released in 2020 as 1,267 pieces and comes with 6 minifigures. Luke Skywalker, General Veers, 2 AT-AT pilots, and 2 snowtroopers. One of the best features of the set is of course the grappling gun that Luke uses to take down the walker. Here at the top of the build there is a winch that can be twisted to pull up the gun. And then a hatch opens up at the bottom where Luke would throw on the bomb. The other main feature of the walker is the interior. Here at the back of the build, a door opens up and the speeder can easily slide in. The sides also open up where you can place the snowtroopers and the cannon. And then obviously here at the front we have the cockpit, I don't know if that's what you'd call it, where General Veers and the 2 AT-AT pilots can be seated. Overall, this is a really great set. The only downside I have with it is that Star Wars walkers are honestly kind of ugly, but obviously that isn't LEGO's fault. It just means it's not the prettiest build. Alright, now on to number 9. For the 9th spot, I have set number 31120, Medieval Castle. It comes with 1,426 pieces, and it has 4 figures. A skeleton, 2 soldiers, and whoever this guy is, I honestly have no idea why he's in the set. It also comes with a dragon, but I unfortunately don't have that built right now. I will say that the minifigure selection really hurts my view of the set because there could have been so many possibilities, but the build itself and its features really hit home. The first main feature that I'm impressed with is the walls opening up for better access to the interior or just a different looking setup. And then of course we have the drawbridge, which opens and closes by twisting the crate on the side of the tower. The interior of the castle also contains lots of play features and hidden details. Some of my favorites include the blacksmith hammer that is moved by turning this beautifully designed water wheel, a little town square market, and a dungeon. There's also a wall section that can be removed if a prisoner was to escape, and a comedic toilet with toilet paper here in one of the front towers. My personal favorite part of the set, however, is the section with the throne room, the water wheel, and the blacksmith shop, as it is just really a pretty build. Despite its great design, however, the castle is not without flaws, as there are tons of pieces that make up the foundation which are not well connected to the rest of the set and come off very easily. That aside though, this is a great set worth purchasing, especially because it is great for playing with or putting it on display. Moving on to number 8, I have set number 31109, Pirate Ship. It has 1,260 pieces and also has 4 figures. A skeleton, 2 pirates, a pirate captain, and it also has 2 brick-built figures, a parrot, and a shark. Now getting into the set features, there isn't a lot of hidden details, but the structure of the build really stands out. Whereas some LEGO ships have a few big generic pieces to make up the hull and some fabric to make the masts, I really appreciate that everything is brick-built for this one. One reason I like brick-built features better for ships is that it is very convenient to take off the masts and make it look like the ship is docked. The hull also looks just so much more authentic, especially at the front. Some other features include cannons that fire, a plank, and an easily accessed captain's quarters with a table, chair, and treasure map. We also have an anchor that can be lowered, a nice little rudder, and a brick-built mermaid. And don't forget the crow's nest on top and intricate workings of lines which bring out vivid detail in the build. I forgot to mention this for the castle, but obviously creator sets are 3-in-1 builds. However, I haven't really put together any of the other options because at least in these 2 cases, the next 2 builds aren't nearly as cool as the first. Overall, this is a really great set, and yeah, that's all I have to say about that. At number 7, I have set number 76055, Batman Killer Croc Sewer Smash. This is the smallest set on the list as well as the first Batman set, and it comes with 759 pieces. Its 5 figures are Killer Croc, Captain Boomerang, Red Hood and his motorcycle, Katana, and of course Batman. I like this set for a choice of rather obscure Batman characters, as we don't get to see them in very many circumstances. In fact, I'm not sure if any of these characters besides Batman and Killer Croc have even been made in another set, but don't quote me on that. Getting into the features of the set, they actually might be my favorite of all sets on this list. First off, we have Killer Croc's chomper thing, call it what you want, which has a nice mechanism that allows for the mouth to open and close when the wheels turn. This is one of the coolest features I know of in a LEGO Land vehicle, and it will come into play later in the set. There's also an axle on Captain Boomerang's perch thing that when pushed, puts pressure on the boomerang and shoots it into action. Now for one of the coolest Batman vehicles I think LEGO has ever made, the Bat Tank is the trophy of this set. Its first main feature is the stud machine gun that can be fired when twisted. Second, we have the roof of the cockpit, which can be lifted up to place Batman inside, like so. I think this cockpit design really goes hard for this set and adds some meaningful detail. And saving the best for last, the jet engine at the back of the build can be turned, which throws a hidden battering ram, pun intended, in the bulk of the build up and over into the front. I've been building Legos for a long time, and I honestly don't think I've seen a cooler feature than this. What's great about this set, though, is that there are 2 crazy cool features that fit so well together. Pull out the battering ram and push the crocodile thing, and it looks so cool to have the Bat Tank pummel the croc mouth. This really is a one-of-a-kind set, and I'm very happy to be fortunate enough to have it. At number 6, I have set number 75212, Kessel Run Millennium Falcon. It has 1,414 pieces and is from the movie Solo. Its 7 figures are quite unique, and they are Han Solo, obviously, Chewbacca, Lando Calrissian, Kira, I think, K. Tolsite, that's what the internet said his name was, a Kessel operations droid, and DDBD. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, but I can still say with at least some confidence that some of these figures, especially the droids, played little or no part in the film because I don't remember either of them at all. However, they're pretty cool and a good addition to the set, so whatever. Now onto the Falcon itself. Its most important feature is obviously how it opens, and this one has, I believe, 12 panels that open up to reveal the interior. Inside we have a bar, some chairs around a playing table and a control center, some crates and a walkway which can be lowered for landing, and a couple other things which I'm not entirely certain of what they are. Next we have the gunner's capsule thing, which opens to reveal 2 seats that slide out. Here we obviously have the cockpit, which comes off and fits 2 minifigures. There's also 2 spring missiles which fire by pressing on these buttons. And last but not least, we have the escape pod, which is honestly what sets this set apart from all other LEGO Millennium Falcon sets, besides the color of course. It slides out on a track like so, and opens to reveal spots for a couple figures, and a piece of the object which everyone wants in a movie and drives the plot forward. This is definitely a great set. The only downside is that some of the features such as the walkway are more for show and can't actually fit minifigures, but I think LEGO did a good job considering that this is a playset and not an Ultimate Collector series. Now on to number 5. Next I have set number 70677, Land Bounty. I don't care for most of Ninjago sets, especially the newer ones, but when Ninjago sets are good, they're amazing, such as this one. It has 1,178 pieces and an impressive 9 minifigures. The protagonist figures are Master Wu, Jay, Kai, Nia, and Cole and his Spinjitzu thing. And for the antagonist snakes, according to LEGO.com, their names are Asphira, Char, Pyro Destroyer, and Pyro Slayer. Like most Ninjago fans, I stopped watching the show soon after the animation change, but I'm glad LEGO kept making good sets like this one. There are so many cool features within this build, so I probably won't get to all of them, but I'll try to show as many as possible. First off, we have a swiveling cannon that fires, and underneath it, a removable roof to access the control room, or whatever you want to call it. This room features 2 seats with a steering wheel and controls, as well as an arcade game and a couple racks of weapons. Next, there is a 4-wheeler that can be dropped out the back and makes for really good detail. And now for the big guns, and this set has many. A piece of the back of the set can be rotated, which turns the wheels at the front for steering. Next, by pushing the vehicle itself, these blades rotate and make for an excellent play feature, as they will take out any enemy that gets too close. The next feature is probably the biggest as well as my favorite, and it is the detachable flying bridge of the vehicle. It has stud shooters on the sides, as well as a function that shoots the jet propulsions backwards and into action. And as for the interior, it has 2 seats and a control panel. The last main feature is this cannon, which can be raised via this gear, and it too can swivel and fire spring-loaded missiles. Honestly, it was hard putting this set at number 5 as it is just beautiful. From very thought-out designs to unanticipated play features to the fact that it is literally a giant moving fortress, this set really has everything you could ask for. However, the next 4 sets are a lot more expansive, and so I think number 5 suits this set well. Now on to number 4. 4th place goes to set number 75290, Mos Eisley Cantina. This is my second biggest set and the first Ultimate Collector Series set on the list, and it comes with 3,187 pieces. Along with its massive size, it also has a massive minifigure lineup with 21 minifigures. That being said, I won't go through them all, but it suffices me to say that this set comes with all of your regular A New Hope heroes, as well as a host of other characters that bring life to Mos Eisley and some Imperial villains as well. Like the Bounty, there is just so much going on in this set, so I won't get to everything, but again, I will try my best. For starters, this set comes with 2 vehicles as well as a dewback figure. This speeder, called a V-35 Land Speeder according to the instructions, is exclusive to this set and is a transport vehicle. It has spots for a minifigure under the glass, as well as up top. However, I still can't decide which one is supposed to be the driver's seat. Next, we have the Urbikian, I have no idea how to say that, 9000 Land Speeder, which apparently belongs to Greedo. The roof can be opened, and it has room for 1 minifigure inside. And this dewback, with some sort of guiding stick at the side, especially brings life to the set, as it has a saddle for a Sand Trooper to ride and store his gear, as well as a replaceable back if the creature were free. It also has a feeding trough here by the cantina, with a bone for it to snack on and some water. Next, we have the outside features of the cantina, which includes some of Tatooine's famous weather vanes, crates and other utilities for storage, and even 2 houses for a feel of Mos Eisley outside of the cantina. This one is supposed to be a normal home with all the scraps and tools that Tatooine would need. And the second is a Jawa shop with scraps littered around the outside, and a chair for him to sit on while selling. There's also a nice door that slides open on the back. These buildings can be connected directly to the cantina, or act as standalone buildings however you want. Now onto the cantina itself. First off, we have a front and back door which both slide open like the one from the Jawa shop. Once inside, the front door leads right to some sort of waiting room, and the back door leads to a room with cleaning supplies and other materials the bartender would need. To access the cantina easiest, the roof easily comes off, and the whole thing can actually open up as well for a different setup however you like it. Obviously, this pub is just full of detail and has tons of stuff going on, from a very intricate bar full of space drinks to a stand where these 3 cantina band players can perform, as well as a function that propels either Han or Greedo forward as they shoot at each other during their fateful argument. There's also plenty of room to reenact the scene where this ugly guy, I really don't care to learn his actual name, loses his arm to Obi-Wan after insulting Luke, or to make up any other intriguing story. Overall, this is just a brilliant set, and not only does it include everything that happens in the cantina to the last minute detail, but it also gives us extra Mos Eisley action. It was again hard to put in this set at number 4, and I think a lot of people making this list would rank it higher, but I just personally like the next 3 a little better because despite the Cantina's pros of tons of action and endless play, I like the details and functions of the next sets better. Speaking of the top 3, I honestly don't like any one of them more than the others, but because I can't do them all at once, I honestly just pick them randomly. Alright, so now on to number 3. My third favorite LEGO set, or more like tied for first, is set number 76240, Batmobile Tumbler. I am a huge Batman fan, especially the Dark Knight trilogy, and I feel like this set meets my expectations to the fullest, besides the fact that there isn't a Batcycle that comes out the middle, of course. The minifigure lineup is quite simple, yet effective, and I'm fine with it. We first have Batman, and of course, Heath Ledger's Joker. I really like the printing of both these figures as they are super detailed, including arm printing on Joker's vest which he wears in the famous interrogation scene. And as you can see, the figures come on a nice little stand with thorny things on the sides that seem to represent Gotham, at least that's my best guess. Now for the tumbler. There isn't honestly a whole lot to say about it regarding functions because it obviously isn't minifigure size, however I can say that it is just picture perfect. My favorite looks to it are the beautiful nitrous turbo at the back, the huge wheels that make it look like a tank, and the layers of armor that surround the vehicle. Building this set was actually very interesting because about half of the bags were putting on these armored panels. When I thought the set was about done, another bag of pieces for the seemingly invincible exterior would be next. And then we also have the interior, which can be viewed by taking off these roof pieces. Inside we have 2 seats in the control panel, as well as a few screens to supply Batman with all the details he needs. The last feature of this set is the display stand for the tumbler, which also has a nice card that displays all of the vehicle stats. A piece at the bottom of the tumbler fits nicely onto the stand, and it can be rotated for however you want it displayed. Unfortunately though, I did notice that it tilts when not pointed straight forward, but I don't necessarily care a whole lot because I like displaying the tumbler off of the stand anyway. Honestly, there isn't a lot that can make me happier with this set, and for that reason it is one of my all-time favorites. Second place is set number 10236, Ewok Village. It has 1,990 pieces and is one of the most famous LEGO Star Wars sets, as it has only ever been made once. I've always loved this set, especially because of the time I got it about 8 years ago. It was leaps and bounds bigger and more detailed than any of my other sets, and it remains amazing to me till this day. It comes with 17 minifigures, and so like the Cantina, I'll summarize by saying that this set has the 6 main protagonists and droids of Return of the Jedi, 2 Rebel Troopers, 5 Ewoks including Wicket, 2 Stormtroopers, and 2 Scout Troopers. First off, this set features 2 builds not connected to the village, which are this catapult which fires by pressing on the catapult part of the catapult, I can't find a better way to say that, and a nice as well as pretty accurate Scout Trooper speeder. And now we have the village, which has so many little details and references to the film that Return of the Jedi starts playing in my head just by looking at it. First off, we have 4 tree trunks, which all contain a cool feature inside. The first one is hollow and has a trapdoor on the top for figures to slide down. The second contains a spider web that pops out. The third contains storage for weapons. And the fourth has a hidden room with steps leading up to it. The bottom part of the set also features some lush undergrowth, which I love because it adds realism to the build. Now for the top, I'll start first by going through each of the 4 village houses. The first one could be imagined as a home for an Ewok, but as shown before, it mostly just contains the trapdoor for sliding through the trunk beneath. The other 3 are a lot cooler though in my opinion, as they can be rotated however you like to display different views of the village. This one is 2 stories, and seems to be home to this Ewok warrior, hence the setup of the top room, and also is probably supposed to be the hut Leia stays in during the film, as it shows her standing at the entrance in the box and instructions. The third hut is also just a regular home, however I imagine it is supposed to represent the place in the movie where C-3PO tells the Ewok stories around the fire. There is also a catapult on top of this build, which is just an extra little play feature. And the fourth also has 2 stories, with the cooking pot on bottom and some extra food and materials up top. This hut also has one of, if not my favorite feature of the set, which is this net which traps Chewbacca in the movie. The net can be attached to the rope via these hooks. And it can be raised and lowered by pulling on the rope and then securing it in place by adjusting this piece. The bridge and main area are also highly detailed, where many of the Return of the Jedi scenes can be played. The bridge can be used for the scene where Luke tells Leia that they are siblings. The chair at the back of the main village area can be raised with this transparent piece for when Luke uses the Force to lift C-3PO, and the stick over the fire can be turned like when the Ewoks try to roast Han, just to name a few. An axle that goes under the village can also be moved by pulling on this vine, which lets loose these logs to smash the scout speeder. The movie shows this happen to an AT-ST walker, but whatever, I don't expect to see LEGO make a tree with a trunk as tall as the walkers they make. This is a clear 10 out of 10 set, and it will forever be in my top favorites. Now on to number 1. First place goes to set number 76252, Batcave Shadow Box. It is just short of 4,000 pieces with 3,981 and has 7 minifigures. They are Batman with the hard cape, Batman with the soft cape, Bruce Wayne, Alfred, Max Schreck, Catwoman, and Penguin. First off, we have a very stylish looking Batmobile, which has room for Batman at the driver's seat, and a couple of other really nice mechanisms. The first is hidden guns, which pop out by twisting this knob. And the second is the booster and flame piece at the back, which spin when the wheels turn. I just really love both these functions and honestly don't think the Batmobile could have been better. Moving on to the cave, its main feature is the ability to open it, revealing all the secrets to Batman's lair. This thing is just massive, and in my opinion, contains just about everything you'd want in a Batcave. I'll first start by going through the middle section, which is a fancy lit up pad for the Batmobile to reside, and a door that can be raised for shooting it into action. The door can then close by pushing on this button. The other main functions are all on the left side of the build, and here you can see multiple knobs which make something happen on the other side. There's also a hidden room below the knobs that can house the flame from the Batmobile or whatever else you want to put in there. The first knob turns the swivel chair, so Bruce Wayne or Batman can read the data on each screen when he needs to. The second knob turns the TV screen, which shows Penguin on one side and Catwoman on the other. This is probably my favorite mechanism because it is so unique and adds tons of detail for storytelling. The next one lowers this door, which is super cool because behind it you can keep one of Batman's suits, and a light brick on top creates a very epic scene. This function might actually be my favorite as well, so I'll have to tie it for coolest with the TV. And last we have 2 sliding doors, which open to reveal all of Batman's gadgets, and close again for when Batman takes off to save the city. Other designs that I love in the set are a lit up wall with tools Batman might need, a very nice working of stairs and a ladder so Batman and Alfred can access the multiple levels of the cave, and this brick-built bat symbol, which I still am amazed on how well it turned out. I also just love all the cave and stalagmite and stalactite pieces, as well as the front side of the box, which displays another flawless brick-built bat symbol. This set is just great because it has some of the coolest play features ever inside, but also looks great on display. I do kind of wish the backside of the set didn't look so ugly and that the whole thing wasn't essentially a box, but the good of the set far outweighs the bad, so it is still one of my favorites. From very thoughtful brick designs to amazing LEGO mechanisms, this is a nearly flawless set, and I would recommend it to kids and adult collectors alike. Thank you so much for watching. I put my heart and soul into this video, and even though it's nowhere near perfect, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next on the track.